Greetings, this is August 15th, Wednesday evening, and a lot of wildlife in the area. They've been coming down out of the hills, browsing on berries, and this little fellow was frolicking, jumping over a bench. Not to be outdone, our local bear also showed his prowess at gymnastics. If you spot wildlife in the area, there's a great site, WARP, WARP, and this is put on by British Columbia Conservation Foundation. It'll give you an indication of where animals are being tracked. So check it out. The link will be in the description below. We're going to take a look today at the RSAC VIIRS infrared system. This is tracking radiative energy that's being emitted and picked up by sensors. This is an image of southeastern British Columbia. We're looking northwards. Rockies are passing from the right over diagonally up to the top left of the screen. One of our viewers, Tyler McKnight's gaming channel, has commented there's big fires near Nelson, so let's jump in and take a look at this region. If you are not familiar, this is mountainous, rugged terrain. This is the wild of BC in the southern interior. There are lots of vertical challenges, gullies, ridges, changing wind conditions, drop-offs, very difficult and in extreme conditions for crews to be working in. We're looking at the BC Wildfire Service fire map, looking at the active wildfires in this area. One of those is Blacktail Mountain. This started on the 19th of July. It's close to 1,900 hectares, and I'm curious about this term modified response. I've seen it on a few other fires, so I'm going to delve into that and find out what a modified response is. Here is the fire itself on the VIIRS system. We're looking at an area just east of Slocan and New Denver, close to Sandon and Radiative. I'm not exactly sure of the mountain range. I'd like to say it's the Valhallas, but I'd have to confirm that. The fire is just northwest of Kootenay Glacier Provincial Park. I'm seeing most of the intensity on the southern flanks. That's where those red and light green colors are, and they appear to be concentrated in the valley or these gullies between the two peaks. We're moving further south. These are two fires that are along Highway 3, the Crow's Nest Highway, and they are west of Creston. One is 206 hectares, MacArthur Creek. It was started by lightning on the 29th of July. The other is situated approximately 20 kilometers east of that. This fire is appropriately named Blazed Creek. It's approximately 5,200 hectares. It was started by lightning on August 7th. So it's been going for over a week now, and it appears to have grown in size. We're seeing a lot of intensity. This is this large patch of IFR just to the right of your screen. Lower temperatures, purple and blue, are on the south and northern flanks. Also, the intensity seems to be more concentrated within the valley floor. There's a few red indications moving towards a southerly direction. We've rotated the camera angle. Now we're looking west. Highway 3 goes in that valley center of the screen. We can see the fire infrared in the distance, and Kootenay Lake is to the right-hand side. It looks like most of the intensity is on the hillside just north and above the highway. Now we're moving to another fire. This is Meechin Creek, another modified response. It's over 10,000 hectares, and this fire was started by lightning on August 1st. On infrared, this appears to be a very complex fire. Looks like multiple fronts. Most of the activity appears to be on White Grouse Mountain. A lot of intensity, volatility in that valley area towards the northern flank. We are seeing stretches of infrared that cross valleys, go up other mountainsides, and then back down again. So very challenging area to work in. There have been so many lightning strikes that have developed into fires in this region. We're seeing a couple towards the Kimberley area, and the smoke is saturating the valley floors, and some of it is catching those eastern winds and then heading over into Alberta. And if we hop over to Windy, we can see 8 kilometers an hour coming from the west in the southeastern region, but there looks to be wind that is coming from the northeast over Calgary, and hopefully that's going to give them some relief and push some of the smoke out of the area, bring some fresh air, at least into the folks that are along the eastern slopes of the Rockies. Next, we'll take a quick jump over to the area around 100 Mile House, 70 Mile House, Chasm. This has been not displaying as much infrared on the MODIS systems as we'd like to see, but the fires are still active in that area, though the one at Twin Creeks, that's 15 kilometers southeast of 70 Mile House, that is apparently under control, or 90% contained, let's say. Young Lake is still showing infrared. That's in the lower right-hand portion of your screen. And in the lower left-hand portion, we see the Wild Goose Lake fire. That's grown above 7,000 hectares. Further north, we're seeing that fire south of Williams Lake. That's near Alkali Lake. And we can also see the infrared being displayed north of Canham Lake. Also a very rugged and mountainous region with limited access. Going back to Windy, we're showing 13 kilometers an hour coming from the north near Williams Lake, but the wind is so variable. It could be coming from the west, it could swirl around a valley and then come up from the opposite direction. So the word is variation and very diverse winds. Gusts are coming in the afternoon, that 3 o'clock breeze, and seem to be dying down. Lots slower in the evenings, and temperatures could start warming up in this area. We are now looking at the central interior, the Nechako Plateau, where it meets the Fraser Plateau. This is west of Prince George. We can see that large swath of infrared to the left of your screen. That's just north of Tweedsmuir Park, and it's a complex fire. There's multiple starts there. They've joined together, and this is also an area with a modified response. We're going to zoom into the area around Nadina, the Shovel Lake fire, the fire at Francois Lake called Island. Each of these fires has pushed eastward, and yesterday, August 14th, they made quite a dash, many kilometers eastward. There were winds in that area. But I'm going to go to the MODIS system from a few days ago and just take a look at the terrain in 3 dimensions around Nadina Mountain. Owen Lake is to the left-hand side of the screen, and we're almost looking due south. This is a spectacular area to visit, very dramatic, great views. Unfortunately, it's almost surrounded by fire at this point. And we're going to pull back and take a look south from Houston, from their perspective, at this swath, patches of fire burning the fuel pockets. And here's another view from Houston, kind of looking at the whole area to the southeast of Houston. And we can see all the different fires that are being battled in that region right now. We'll go back over to the Shovel Lake fire. This is just northwest of Fraser Lake, Fort Fraser, and this has grown to over 50,000 hectares. It had quite dramatic movement yesterday. Crews were able to get in, put guards around, and stop the southeastern progression. So great job on that. And we can see that it has lots of fuel in the area, lots of different forested pockets. There's lakes, creeks, gullies, ridges that are quite a challenge to maneuver around and establish guards. Also, there's communities in there, farms, recreational sites, ranches. This is an area with a lot of livelihood and a lot of wildlife. Moving south from this position to Tesla Lake, over 16,000 hectares involved. There's 3 fires in this area, perhaps 4, very complex. This is that region with a modified response by BC Fire Service, and it's grown and spread eastwards. Prevailing winds are pushing it. This is the range of mountains that runs right up against the coast. And the Ramsey Creek fire, which is connected, that's over 39,000 hectares involved. And here is the view on the RSAC VIIRS system. And from this perspective, it looks like just a jigsaw puzzle of forest and fire, mountainous terrain, lakes, valleys, just very formidable and difficult area to access. We're looking in a northerly direction. The coastal range is on the left-hand side of the screen, and beyond that is the Pacific Ocean. Not a lot of wind is showing up for this region right now. There are some peaks at 11, 13 kilometers an hour, more increased winds in the afternoon. Wind directions are going to be quite variable, but the general flow is from west to east, and it looks like it might be traveling southwest to northeast. We will cross the water and take a look at the northern half of Vancouver Island. A lot of lightning strikes that ran up the center of the island, and they've now turned into wildfires. 7 kilometers an hour coming from the northwest at one position, and then 9 kilometers an hour from the southwest coming at another position. So again, lots of variation all throughout the province. So this has been a very limited tour of some of the wildfires occurring right now on the RSAC radiative scan, showing heat intensity. It's hard to get on that system, and when it comes available, I like to grab as many screens as I can and show them to you, because the information helps us to decide what our plan of action is going to be. Watch those winds, my friends, because when fresh air comes in, it can stir up fires that have been slumbering. They're in the pine, the spruce, in the fir, and they can go to sleep and wake up when a new breeze starts. So be very safe, assess your resources, check your position, and keep your nose to the breeze. Thank you very much for watching.